All right, guys. Coach Todd here. Welcome to Elevation Coaches Team Training. Our weekly call. It is, what is it? It's December 21st. It's almost Christmas. We're still meeting. I have a very, very important lesson that I want to share with you guys today. I learned this from Tony Robbins. Unknowingly, I implemented this when I started my business, and really having a framework to put around what I had already done. Really gives me more clarity on where I want to go, and I hope that's what it's going to do for you guys today. And what this whole thing is all about today is how do you take massive action, okay, and how do you get massive results along with taking massive action? Because that's what we all want, results. That's why we started working out, okay? We wanted huge results. We want awesome results, okay? When we became a coach, we became a coach because we loved what we went through. We loved the process. We loved the challenge groups, or maybe we loved the products, or a combination of all those things. And you love just the atmosphere of what Beachbody provides, and you want to be a part of that. And you want to help other people feel the way you do. You want to help other people get results, and that's why you became a coach. You see the potential there. You start to experience what coaching is about, and you see the huge opportunity. And that's where my lesson today starts. I'm going to snag a chair here real quick so that I can lower the screen down and you guys can see my whiteboard. But the one thing, okay, think about this. What is the one thing that you need in order to create just huge, massive results? Okay, the one thing that you absolutely need, that you cannot be successful without, is certainty. And another word for that would be belief. I'm not just talking about, yeah, I think I could do that. I'm talking about you have no doubt in your mind that a certain outcome is going to happen. When I set out, 7 times prior to having success with P90X, in an attempt to be successful with P90X, I wasn't certain of the results that I was going to get. Okay, but then I got on YouTube, I found my coach, and I saw what was possible, and all of a sudden something changed in my head. I was certain that I could get the same results if I simply did what my coach did. And I did. I got awesome results. Okay, and that certainty is the one thing. That is the only thing you need for success. It begins with that. That is the foundation, is certainty. I've said this before in a lot of team calls, that mindset is everything. And that's why personal development needs to be a top priority if you're going to be a successful coach. And you need to be certain of what you want to accomplish, okay? And I'm going to draw for you guys here. So the very first thing you start with anything, if you want to be successful with it, is here. Let me move this down, and I'll sit down. So you guys can see that. Yeah, there's a big old glare on it, but oh well, you'll be able to see it. I'll do it down here. Okay, the very first thing you're going to start with, okay, I'm going to draw 4 boxes and how they're all linked together. Dang it, get that glare off of there. All right, I'm going to try something. Maybe there. The stupid lights. Okay. Very first thing you're going to start with, though, is potential. Okay? And this is where the start of success, this is where success starts, is you have to be able to visualize the potential of something, okay? And when you accept that a certain outcome is possible, when you see that potential, what does that cause you to do? Okay, that brings you over here to action, okay? When you recognize potential, it leads you to take action. Okay? This is critical right here. Okay? Consider the what was his name? Roger Bannister. Okay, he's the guy who ran he was the very first man in history to run the 4-minute mile. Okay? Prior to him, for thousands of years, okay, even the Romans were trying to run 4-minute miles. It could not be done. Okay, and the one thing that this guy did differently is he couldn't physically train his body to do it. Okay, it was, people believed back then that the human body was not capable of running a 4-minute mile. But Roger Bannister started training different than anybody else in history. He started training in his mind as if he was completing a 4-minute mile. And he would mentally train his mind to run a 4-minute mile. Okay, and then in I can't remember what the year was, but in the year that Roger Bannister ran that 4-minute mile, in the next year, 24 people ran a mile in under 4 minutes. Okay, prior to Roger Bannister completing this task or achieving the 4-minute mile, not a single person in history ever did it. And once he did it, 24 people in the next 2 years ran a 4-minute mile. Okay, does that mean all of a sudden there was some new breakthrough in athletic training? No, it was a mindset shift. And Roger Bannister was the one that allowed those people to see the potential. Okay, and once they saw the potential, they took action. And then once they take action, okay, I think you guys can see this. I'll try and keep it here. Okay, but once you take action, you know that leads to results. Okay, and once you get results, okay, that's going to lead to more belief. Okay, you see the potential. The potential causes you to take action. The actions you take gets you results, and then when you get the results, your belief increases, and this is just a cycle. Once you believe more, you see an increase in potential. You say, okay, I want to get a 6-pack. I know I can do it. Coach Todd did it. Coach Wayne did it. Josh Spencer did it. All these and these women, I know that they lost 70 pounds after they had their 19th kid or something. I know I can do it. She did it. You see the potential. It leads you to take action. Once you take action, you get results. Once you get results, it fuels your belief. And then once you have that belief, you increase the amount of potential that you're able to see. It's like, shoot, we know that a 4-minute mile is possible now. What if someone ran a mile in 3 minutes? What if someone ran a mile in 3 minutes? You see how it increases the potential once you achieve results, because it leads to your belief that it's possible, then it increases the amount of potential. Okay, and up here, it all starts with this. It all starts with certainty. Your level of assurity that it is possible. So if you guys are taking notes, I want you to write this down. Okay, and what's the thing that really sucks about this? Okay, this picture, infographic, I don't know what you want to call it. This has the ability to change your life if you understand it. Okay, but also it reveals to us a reality that is sometimes depressing. And it reveals a reality that a lot of us have fallen into, okay? Because a lot of us don't recognize the potential we have. A lot of us can't see it. We're like, well, I don't think I could do that. Okay, and when you have that kind of mindset, when you limit yourself, when you limit the potential that you're capable of in your mind, what does that lead to as far as actions? When you limit the possible potential or your possible potential, it leads you to limit your actions, which limits your results, which limits your level of belief, which is you're just self-inflicting pain on yourself. It's like you're reassuring yourself that, oh, I knew it. It wasn't possible. This thing is a scam. I knew it wasn't possible. And you get to give yourself a big old pat on the back for being right and failing. You can say, see, it didn't work. Okay? So if you limit your potential, if you're not certain that a reality, that something, your dream can be a reality for you, if you're not certain of that, you're going to limit your potential. It's going to limit the action you take. It's going to limit the results you're going to get. It's going to continue to limit your belief, and you will diminish the amount of potential that you see for yourself in the future. This whole thing can be self-defeating, or this whole thing can be a how you can recognize the reality of this truth right here on this diagram, and you can use that to create certainty. And that's what I want to talk about next, is how do you actually create that certainty? And the way you create this certainty is you need to have achieved the results in your mind before you achieve them in reality. And this is why, guys, this is why 99% of the people, or 95, whatever 90th percentile you want to use, 99% of the people in the United States hold 95% of the wealth. Okay, because they understand this. They understand, they are certain of their potential. Okay, and once they're certain of that potential, I've been listening to videos and interviews with Mark Cuban, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks. I've been listening to interviews with him constantly today. Probably 3 hours worth of interviews, and just hearing him talk about, he knew what he was destined for before he set out to achieve it. He said, you know what, I'm gonna make millions. He knew he was gonna do it, and then he found a way to do it. Okay, but he had that reality in his mind. He was certain of that reality before he ever took action. But that certainty led to his level of potential that he saw, which led to how much action he took, which led to his results, increased his level of belief, which increases the level of potential that he saw in his life, and now he's a billionaire. And so many of these people, what's interesting about people who are high achievers in life, whether it's in relational high achievers, where they're trusted by people, and they believe in people, and people respect them, or whether it's in business. Okay, what's interesting is these people that have achieved high things. Call it, just for the sake of example, I forgot what the guy was. I forgot his name. But it took him until he was 60 years old, okay? 60 years old, he accumulated $1 billion, okay, through investing in various things. He took that $1 billion and invested 100% of it in this chain of Quickie Marts. I forgot what the name of Quickie Marts was. In 2 years, he lost every single penny. In 2 years, he lost every single penny of that $1 billion investment. Okay? And once he lost that, mind you, this guy is 62 by this time. In just 4 years, he was a billionaire again. So why is it that it took this guy 60 years to create $1 billion income? He loses it in 2 years, and then it only takes him 4 years to get back up to that point from zero. Because he saw the potential. He saw the potential, which led him to action, which got him the results, which increased his level of belief, and it just fueled this diagram. It fueled the reality of what this is displaying. Okay, so certainty. If you want that certainty, you have to have those results in your head already. Okay, I listened to a guy today. His name is John Reese. He was being interviewed by Tony Robbins. And he was saying, Tony Robbins was asking him, he said, okay, how did you create that certainty in your life? And for this guy, it was a lot of the things he wanted to achieve were, in my opinion, it was vanity, but it was what was driving him. He wanted to drive a Porsche. He was working at a video store at the time. You guys remember those? You might, where they actually stocked DVDs and VHS tapes on a shelf and you rented them. He worked at a video store, and he would bring Auto Trader magazine to work, and he would just look at the Porsches. And his boss was making fun of him. He's like, dude, why are you doing that to yourself? You're never gonna get a Porsche. And this John Reese guy, he had no idea how he was gonna do it. But when he saw an opportunity, he already had the millionaire results achieved in his mind. He saw the potential, which led him to take action, which led him to the results, which increased his level of belief until the point where this guy makes $1 million a day doing what he does. He actually went back to the video store. He actually, when his boss told him, he goes, you know what? One day I'm going to come back here driving that Porsche. and you're going to see, I'm going to show you guys that this is not where I'm going to be for the rest of my life. He actually did. He went back to that video store driving a Porsche 911 turbo convertible, and all the people could say was like, wow, dude, is that your dad's Porsche? They actually asked him. They didn't think it was his. That's how limited their certainty was. That's how limited their level of belief was. That's why they still worked at the video store. He started making $1 million a day. He was certain of the outcome before he even started. He was certain of the life he was going to live before he even started. For me, in my own coaching business, I was certain that I was going to bring my wife home before I ever made a plan on how to do that. I was absolutely certain. I had no idea how I was going to do it, but I knew that Beachbody coaching was going to get me there because I was passionate about it, I was excited about it, and I knew that it could work for other people. I had no idea how I was going to do it, but in 18 months, I replaced my wife's $45,000 a year salary, and she now has the opportunity to stay home with our kids. It's a huge blessing, but I started out with that certainty. And that certainty, I saw the potential that Beachbody provided, and I was certain that Beachbody could get me there and my wife there. That led me to take action. That led me to writing a blog post every 1 to 2 days. That led me to making a video. I would come home on my lunches every single Thursday at 12 p.m. I would take a lunch hour. I would come home. I would change out of my work clothes. I would get into workout clothes. I would record a video on my phone, okay? I would put back on my work clothes. I'd go back to work. When I'd come home, I'd do the family thing. I'd hang out with the kids, get them bathed and put in bed, and then I would go right to my computer. I would put that video into Microsoft Movie Maker, toss in a few intro slides, edit it, and then upload it to YouTube, embed it on my blog post, and then bam, done. And then I would do a blog post the next day. And then I would stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning learning about search engine optimization and how I can get my post on P90X Nutrition to the very top of Google. I put in countless hours. There were some weeks where I would put in, probably 4 to 8 hours a day in addition to what I was working at my job. And at my job, sometimes I was working 12 hours a day. And I would come home and work another 6 on Beachbody. And then I would get up at 4:30 a.m. I'd do my workout. I don't know how I did it, but I had this level of certainty that drove me to take that action. But so many people, they start out with a limited amount of this, belief or certainty. They start out with a limited amount of certainty, but this is where it all begins. This is what you have to have before you can achieve this here. You have to achieve it in your mind before you can get it in reality. And if you don't get that, if you don't understand that, you'll never get this. You'll never get the results. Because if you don't start here, all of a sudden, you break this chain. If you don't see it in your mind, you're not going to see the potential. If you don't see the potential, you will not take the action. And if you don't take the action, you will not get the results. If you don't start with belief, if you're not certain of what you want to achieve and that you can achieve it, you will not get the results. So that's, they did an interesting experiment. I can't remember how long it was ago, but they took a group of NBA basketball players and they wanted to test this theory about mind over matter. And they took a group of basketball players and they shot free throws. They practiced free throws nonstop. Just one after the other, thousands of free throws a day. And they took another group of NBA basketball players and they trained them with no basketballs. They sat in front of the hoop and made the motion of shooting a free throw with their eyes closed, and they imagined that the shot went in the basket every single time, thousands of times per day. Can you guys guess who had better free throw averages when they put that thing to the test? It was the guys who never even touched a basketball. during that experiment. Isn't that weird? It's mind over matter, guys. They were certain in their mind that they could achieve the results before they actually picked up a basketball. They saw it so many times in their head that their action, they saw the potential so many times in their head, they believed it went in so many times that their actions reflected that, and it got them the results. Same guy, Roger Bannister, the guy who ran the 4-minute mile. He achieved it in his mind before he ever achieved it on the track. And it's the same thing with Beachbody coaching. If you've been at this for 2-3 years, this is what blew me away today, just realizing that where I'm at right now is a result of my level of belief. When I post in Elevation Coaches once a week on the top volume point earners, I have a little saying on that graphic that says, your income is a direct reflection of how many people you help. Okay, so how many people do you want to help? How many people do you want to help in your Beachbody coaching business? Because if you can see that in your head, if I can see I see myself with 100,000 subscribers on Facebook. I have no idea how I'm going to do it right now, but I'm going to have 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. And I know as a result of those 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, it's going to carry me to having the opportunity to help thousands and thousands more people. As a result of that, our coaching team is going to grow exponentially. As a result of that, my income is going to grow exponentially. I can see it in my mind right now. And if you don't have clarity on what you're certain about, very specific, like you say, let's say I ask you guys, how much money do you want to make as a coach? And you say, as much as possible. No, there's no such thing. Sorry. Come up with something else. There's no such thing with as much as possible. That as much as possible is not certainty. It's like, okay, what rank coach do you want to be in 6 months? I want to be as high. I want to rank advance as much as I can by June. Not possible. That's not certain. Rank advancing as much as you can is not certainty. You have to be certain about these things. How many Success Club points do you want to earn each month? How many people do you want to help in 1 year lose over 100 pounds? I set out this year in 2015 to help 5 people lose more than 100 pounds. I did it. In fact, I think it's 6 people. How cool is that? At the beginning of the year, I set that goal. And these last 2 weeks of December is where I'm reflecting on this past year, what I did, what I could have done better, and I'm looking toward 2016. Okay, one of the things that I am going to put my heart and soul into is growing your guys' businesses, helping you reach more people, helping you create a difference for your family. That is what I'm going to pour my heart and soul into, because I see what it's done for my family. It's given my family options. It's given us opportunities that we never would have had if it wasn't for my certainty of what was possible, which led to this. Okay, I saw the potential as a result of my certainty. It led me to take action. It got me the results. It led to more belief, which leads to me seeing bigger potential, which leads to more action, more results, more belief, and it just keeps going and going and going. It's an amazing reality that's on this board right here, and if you don't understand this, you're never going to reach your own potential, your full potential, and you're never going to get the results that you truly want. But if you truly want results, you have to be very clear on what results you want to achieve, and you have to be certain that it's possible. And it sounds like I'm repeating myself constantly, and I'm doing that on purpose. I'm saying all these words over and over. You're like, Todd, this call is getting kind of redundant. Weird. That's on purpose. Because success is redundant. Success is very simple, and what we tend to do is we try and complicate it. We try and add all this stuff to simply, oh, Todd, don't tell me it starts in your mind. There's got to be some, okay, talk to me about Facebook ads. I want to hear about Facebook ads. Or what should I do? What kind of call to action should I put in my blog post or at the end of the video? It's got to be that. It couldn't just be certainty and how much potential you see in yourself or in the opportunity that you're a part of. It can't be that. If that's the way you think, you're never going to get the results. And that's why so many people live their life in mediocrity. That's why they live their life as a slave to what everybody else tells them they should be, do, say, rather than taking charge of their own life and saying, you know what, I'm gonna take this week off, and I'm gonna take my family to Disneyland, and we're gonna have fun. Or you know what, I think, you know, for me, I have a few hobbies that I love, and one of the things that brings the most joy to me is just in the middle of the week going to the shooting range at like 10 a.m. while everybody else is at work. Or going to the RC car track when no one else is there. I drive RC cars. I know it's childish, but it's so fun. Okay, but those are the things that drive me, having freedom. And you have to ask yourself, okay, what do I want out of life? What do I want to achieve? What would bring joy to my life? What currently brings joy to my life? Is it spending more time with your kids, or is it spending more quality time with your kids? Is it you want to have more date nights with your spouse because you want to develop that relationship and be closer and make that person your everything, and you just want to pour into them, and you want more time to do that? You got to figure out what brings you joy, and you got to dwell on that. And if you're certain that you can achieve that, this stuff all starts to fall into place. So that's it, guys. I'm going to do a quick exercise with you. I'm going to tip the screen up so you guys can see me. And if you guys want to do this at home, I highly encourage it because it is scary. It actually is scary. It weirded me out at first. So if you stand up, I want you to just stand up and take your right hand and just point your finger straight. Just point your finger straight out, okay? Now what I want you to do, make sure you have some room behind you. I want you to turn clockwise as far as you can without turning your feet. Just see how far you can turn, okay? See how far you can go. And then stop and turn around once you're done. Okay. Now remember where you are. Now what I want you to do is I want you to close your eyes. Keep your hands at your side, close your eyes, and I want you to imagine yourself doing the same exact thing that you just did, only with your eyes closed. Imagine yourself lifting up your arm with your finger pointed in your mind, and then start turning, except this time, I want you to imagine that you went 25% further than you did last time. In your mind, not physically. This is all in your mind right now. We're just standing here with our eyes closed, and you turn in your mind 25% further. And you're like, holy crap, this is awesome. You did it. You did it in your mind. Okay, now I want you to do the same thing again. Raise your finger up in your mind, not physically. And with your eyes closed, imagine yourself turning 50% more than you went last time, okay? And it's enjoyable. You're having fun doing this in your mind. This is actually fun. Okay, now I want you to, now you're gonna turn into an owl in your mind, because you're gonna turn a full 180 degrees, or 360 degrees, okay? And in your mind, close your eyes and just raise up your finger, and you're thinking about how awesome this is gonna be, how fun it's gonna be. And you're just going to turn in your mind, not physically, turn in your mind a full 360 degrees, like an owl can turn its head completely around. And you're having fun doing this in your mind. And I can see a smile on some of your guys' faces. So I know you're doing the exercise right. Okay, now open your eyes. Okay, now I physically want you to raise your right hand with your finger pointed out. Now turn clockwise and see how far you can turn. as far as you can. All right. How much further did you guys turn?
That's crazy.
I love it. Okay, so what limited you the first time? Was it like, oh man, that's gonna hurt my back. I can't do that. Like I'm gonna pull a muscle or something, or was it just like, yeah, that's far enough. This is dumb. I don't know what Todd's doing. That's okay. That's okay. But guys, I saw Matt on here. Matt, you probably went 50% further than you did the first time. That was nuts. Nothing changed physically. Okay, but you saw it in your mind. You saw yourself going further in your mind. It is the same exact thing with everything in life. It's the same exact thing with your coaching business. It's the same exact thing with your own physical results. Okay, if you start picturing yourself, if you track your macros like I do on MyFitnessPal, if you start seeing yourself in your mind hitting your macros every single day, all of a sudden you're going to notice that your actions start to line up with what your mind is putting out there first. Okay, you guys just saw it. You imagined, all you had to do was focus on moving further with your finger, and in just 1 minute 60 seconds of imagining, or 120 seconds of imagining it, the average person turns about 25% further. If you moved more than 25% further, you're above average, and your level of belief, you're not a normal person, and you should be real proud of yourself right now. But guys, it starts in the mind, and I hope that exercise revealed that to you, and I hope you can find out how to make that connection to everything you do with coaching, to everything you do with building relationships, to everything you do in how you develop content that helps people or attracts people to you. I hope you can see that exercise and how it applies. So that's all we got for tonight, guys. I said this call would be about 20 to 30 minutes. It's 37. You guys have any questions about what we talked about or any comments? We're good? All right, I got a thumbs up from Matt. John, you're good? Thumbs up from me. All right. Well, guys, I appreciate you being on the call. I'll upload this to YouTube, and I got some things to go to tonight, but I'll have it uploaded tonight, and I'll post it in the Elevation Coaches group. And if you guys thought this was helpful, share this exercise with your coaches, with your customers. I'm going to make a YouTube video specifically for this on fitness results. And I'm going to do this exercise for my customers. So I'm going to make them think I'm weird too. So that's my goal. All right. So guys, thanks for being on the call. Thanks for taking time away from family. I know it's Christmas week. I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas. God bless. And I look forward to talking to you guys throughout the week. So we'll see you guys.